The Cleveland Cavaliers may have to get a little creative if they intend to address each of their areas of need this offseason. One of those is the need for shooting out of the wing position. The problem is that there are not often cheap fixes available at this position. Wings who can shoot are generally paid well. Wings who can shoot and defend are paid a premium. Unfortunately for the Cavs, many of the best wings available this offseason may be just out of reach. This means that they may have to take a chance on a player who has displayed an ability to knock down the outside shot but isn't a proven commodity. One player who fits that description to a T is Yuta Watanabe, a man who has bounced around the league quite a bit but experienced somewhat of a career year with the Brooklyn Nets during the 2022-23 campaign. Watanabe put up career highs in points, assists, field goal percentage, and minutes per game to name a few, but the best of all was the fact that he shot a career high 44.4% from three-point range. That, in my opinion, should put him on Cleveland's radar as a cost-effective shooter. Now on the surface, Watanabe's three-point percentage paints him as an ultra-efficient marksman from distance. But when you take a look at the total number of attempts he takes from that range, it's pretty easy to determine why he may not earn top dollar in free agency. For as efficient as he was, 2.3 attempts isn't exactly a big enough volume to suggest that he is a knockdown shooter. 44.4% of 2.3 translates to roughly one made triple per game. That may not be anything to get too excited about, it is however encouraging. So much of how effective a shooter can be is tied to how much time they are actually given to display those capabilities. Watanabe's minutes have been very up and down throughout his 5 seasons in the NBA. One quick glance at his minute averages across these 5 seasons is a near perfect symbolization of peaks and valleys. It's very difficult to discern what is real and what's not when that's the case. Part of this is due to players trying to make the most of their minutes because they may not be guaranteed time consistently. This has been the case for most of his career. However, this season, he was given a real shot to showcase his talent as he was a real rotation piece for the majority of the year. From the start of the season through the trade deadline, a span of 41 games, Yuta averaged 6.8 points on a very good 52.4% from the field, including a blistering 49.1% from three-point range, all the while getting 18.6 minutes per game. That's solid production from a reserve. He looked to have finally turned a corner and could possibly be breaking out to a degree for a very competitive Nets team that held the NBA's 7th best record at 33-22 prior to the deadline. Hell, there was even talk of including him in the All-Star break's three-point shooting contest. After the deadline, through the end of the season, Yuta's minutes were basically cut in half as he was only seeing the court for 9.7 minutes per game, and as a result, his overall production plummeted. He was averaging just 2.6 points and completing just 34.9% of his shots. It's hard to get into a rhythm when your time is so sporadic. This was a direct result of the influx of new talent the Nets received from the Kyrie and KD trades. With so many new mouths to feed, he was mostly shelved. That said, Watanabe has shown enough ability to inspire the confidence that if given enough minutes, he can produce. He would be an excellent fit for what the Cavs need due to his ability to knock down catch and shoot triples. 129 of his 133 total three-pointers attempted this season were of the catch and shoot variety. He knocked down a scorching 45.7% of these looks, and it didn't matter where he took them from. He was efficient from all over. He was particularly effective from the left corner, where he knocked down 53.8% of his attempts. With ball handlers like Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and Karis LeVert on deck, Watanabe would have his fair share of looks. The gravity that he could draw would likely generate open driving lanes in return as defenses are forced to key in on him. It's this ability to knock down perimeter shots that should entice the Cavs enough to gauge his interest in joining the team. He may not even require part of the MLE, but rather a vet minimum type of deal. Time will tell.